Hello, strange people of the interwebs. I will try to talk while everything gets whatever. So y'all will know that I'm actually here, and there's nothing wrong with the thing, and the camera's good, and uh, we're teaching the puppy manners today, and stuff. Yeah, actually wanted to check on stuff before I turn the camera on. I didn't want to sit here and look like some kind of weirdo with my mouth open while I was clicking, scrolling and clicking and stuff. Let's get all that done and get back over here before anybody but the missus showed up. How long it takes you people to figure out that I won't lie again. A solid hour early, in case anybody's going, well, why is he doing live right now? Or because nobody else was live. And I've been seeing a lot of unboxing and reviews on stuff from this little jewel of a company. And I was actually looking at it, thinking, hey, I'd like one of those. I'd like one of those. I'd like one of those. So, but unlike everybody's favorite, I'm going to hate on them company, Amazon, which is actually based in the U.S. And the guy that owns it may not be the greatest human being ever, but it's a U.S. owned company. I'll have plenty to do this weekend, Chipper. Like sit here and hang on my wife, talk trash to people on the interwebs, uh, eat my last moon pie, uh, give the dog bacon strips. Chipper, you will be glad to know that the nap I took this afternoon in my big old fluffy recliner, I was not alone, and that Hazel was a jerk. Whenever it come time for him to want the nap to be over, he just crawled up in my face and bit my beard. A lot. Which worked. And it's not like he's going to the concentration camp or anything. He's getting uh, bacon strips instead for supper. How many bacon strips is a meal for a 6-pound dog? Should probably look that up. I think I'm only supposed to give him one. I don't even know what it's made out of. I think it's like soybeans or something. Good dog. He did go right outside and do his business. I'm having to relearn to walk. I apparently now have 6 feet. 6 feet, 4 ears. I bark
Give him a lot of things.
at you gently.
Give him a lot to do. Isn't that what you did yesterday?
No, I was feeding him off the brisket trimmings.
Brisket.
Cut him up with little cubes. And oh, yeah, dog learn to sit fast.
The air conditioner.
Hmm? Hey, Chipper, is that air conditioner loud? Oh, I was hoping that'd get you in here. How does it? You need to like message me or something. Uh, there's a lot of things I'd like to get on here and talk with you about face to face. If I could keep my brain together long enough, I want to get. Uh, there's a lot of people I really like to listen to, and I'd really like to host a get together with them. It don't have to all be at the same time, but keep it. Ah, all right. As long as y'all are feeds choppy. I don't know why, but the Wi-Fi drops off when we close the door. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's wooden. I guess maybe that's the only internet in and out because of the tin siding. I don't know. Okay. Um, well, there's inclement weather between my location and Mr. Foco's undisclosed location. Um, Steve Foco, dude, I gotta ask you something, man. Did y'all ever do anything with that barn? Pops into my head every so often. That was a beautiful barn. You can ask the missus whether or not I have a barn thing. Seems like every time I buy a piece of property, it's got this crap barn on it. Except for the one I bought that we got that place down there. It's got a really cool barn. Just can't do anything with it. Still working on it. Hey, Steve. Oh man, I need to post it on Instagram. I forgot about that. I have a picture of the world record rattlesnake killed in. Of course, it was killed here. Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna read it to you. I was very proud of that. It wasn't for sale. Sure. Oh, ouch. I don't think they talk about people having amiable of those things, but I'm not 100% sure that that's possible. And I take a lot of dumb pictures. Well, it doesn't say where. World record Western diamondback rattlesnake caught in 2006. 7 feet 11 inches long. Dude! Hi, Anna. You probably can't see that. I'll post it on Instagram. That's just a regular Stetson over there hanging on a hat rack. There's a big snake. Could fit the whole family with that one. Hey, man. Well, everybody's swinging in and running off. Makes me wonder what cool channels having a live stream that I'm not subscribed to. But if I'm not subscribed to it, can't be all that cool. Um, anyway, how many people in here besides Corsair Trainers, who buys all of his stuff there, Think it all the way through. The dog is sneaking up behind the cat. Cat's got her by about 4 pounds. Anyway, how many people on here besides Corsair Trainers buys all of their stuff on TEMU? Seriously. Pretty much, Chipper. My summer hired help called in sick this weekend. Couldn't make it. He's got a doctor's appointment Tuesday. He forgot that I've got a locator on his little butt, and I know he's at the lake. When your granddad says, "Hey, just let me stab you with this pen one time," just know that he's putting a dog tracker on you, and he will always know where you're at, and you can't get away behind. That's how grandpas have been doing it forever. In case y'all wondered. What is, yeah, exactly. Anyway, I personally strongly suggest that you take a look at all the fine print on that company before you do that anymore. Make sure you're just getting stuff that, if you got to do something like that, it's not going to be fast for starters. And make sure it's something you got to have. Don't just give them your money, man. The parent company's mission statement is to accelerate whatever the fancy word for putting in place digital worldwide currency. They don't want to trade in yen. They don't want to trade in US dollar. They don't want to trade. They want their, just saying, man. Can't be screaming about them and they and then going and buying stuff at places owned by them and they. Saw a video the other day and I actually liked the principle behind the video. It's a survival challenge video. I still watch those in there.
Look at the title of the video.
Yeah. TEMU. Now I can read the important paragraph. They're all pretty important. Let me see if I can get there. They're not a company based. They're not based out of Boston. You people that are saying, "Oh, go to the American based company," shut up. The company out of China rented a office space in Boston and are opening an office across the water, right across the border, in Canada. Yeah, basically. Company coins are before we get there. The TEMU says the company was founded in Boston in 2022, but that's a lie. Boston's office is not a warehouse full of products, but more likely a central office that's connected to TEMU's other offices worldwide. Does TEMU produce its products ethically? TEMU's reverse manufacturing model helps the company decrease waste by more accurately gauging customers' desired products. We only steal and make shit that you want. Hey, whatever, let's say. blah 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 says they're committed to environmental sustainability by digitalizing the economy, cutting supply chain waste, and offsetting carbon emissions. However, the countries in which their products are produced or whatever do not have any kind of EPA standards. Just,
Wow. I'll trade in baby cakes. I ain't trading in no nasty chicken nuggets. You need me to go pull weeds? You got some baby cakes? Yeah, I'll go do it. You need me to go milk the goats? You got some little baby cakes? Yeah, I'll go do it.
say your milk and goat is a baby cake.
I go pull weeds, whatever. Give me some
What
little
I'll
baby
get for
cake.
some cosmic brownie.
That's a little baby cake.
Yeah, that's no Debbie cake. That's cosmic brownie Debbie cake. That's the best plastic on the planet. Those taste better than crayons. You can use them like crayons too, and that's scary.
Whatever.
They're a brown crayon with sprinkles.
Whatever.
They're good. Hey, Trey. Doesn't it though, man? Oh, now Oliver, you're not supposed to notice the obvious. Call that stuff out. We're just supposed to blindly accept that. No, I'm saving $5. That's all that matters. Yeah. Yes, crayons. Cosmic brownies are brown crayon with sprinkles. They're for drawing brown rainbows. I'm
I
just
don't sit there and crack on your nasty moon pies all the
since
time.
when?
I said all the time. You're gonna be cracking on my cosmic brownies.
I am supporting you in the fact that they're delicious though. It's just they're not. I don't know what they're not brown. There's some little alien that poops little square blocks.
It's an online company that you can order stuff from dirt cheap, but when you get them, the label is not made in U.S. That's for sure.
It's the company's not based out of the U.S. All the money, every 100% of the profits from TEMU goes to the CCP. Yeah. So, uh, now while Amazon sells a lot of crap made by whatever, they get to mark it up. All TEMU is doing is taking away the markup for the people who are purchasing it from China and then reselling it to you. They're taking away, and it's a different. The stuff you're getting off Amazon is not the stuff you're getting off TEMU. That's important to note also. Uh, TEMU's, like I said, I've been looking into this for like 3 or 4 days because I was like, man, they got a pair of shoes that I can't afford to buy those shoes from the retailer. They look exactly like the shoes. They're not these shoes, apparently. They're reverse manufactured shoes. And anyway, long story short, the average rating I'm talking across the board average at Amazon is like 3.5 stars or something like that. The average rating, this is, I kept this one open because it's like a overlay, not an overlay. What do you call it? A overview. It's got a lot of the stuff.
Everything has Temu commercials. It's irritating.
Did that go? I know I read it on
Digitizing the economy to save energy sounds a lot like on paperless.
here. Yeah.
They're trying to put in a Bitcoin office in town. They had they bought the land already. It had to be beside a substation because it uses so much electricity. They had to be right there at it to be able to tap into enough electricity. There's a whole thing with that too.
I'm not buying. Yeah, the here it is. 2.9 stars on TEMU. The majority, there are very few 5-star ratings, and all of the 5-star ratings are offset by the huge number of 1-stars from packages not arriving late, not being what they thought they were buying.
I think you're buying a regular dining chair and it comes in with a Barbie chair.
Yeah, I think I'm buying a pair of high top earth shoes with rubber outsole, and I'm not buying earth shoes. That kind of thing. That is so true, Coco. I mean, he's just like, I saw him get shook up once, but that was when he was driving down a bumpy road. That was funny.
I'm good.
Digital smallpox, probably. Okay, Trey. When we get done there, if you want to swing by here, I got some mint weed I need knocked down. I got gas and stuff. I just don't want to run the tiller. Let's see. You don't have to bring gas. I got gas. Huh? I'll give you some pot roast.
Hot roast is good.
That pot roast is good. I was cleaning the freezer out, and I found all kinds of stuff down there in the bottom of that we are having to eat now. But I mean, there's all this stuff. Everybody's like, fight the system. They're trying to take over. And then they go and to save 20 cents on something, they empower the system. The actual them and they, not the them and they with the purple hair and the big long eyelashes and.
I don't know what Mississippi pot roast is.
What's Mississippi pot roast? Not a Mississippi, not possum, not roadkill. This was I bought a brisket. They had it on sale last year. It's been in the fridge for like $4 or $5. Anyway, I cut it into 3 pieces. The other day we had 1 piece, and then the other one put back in the freezer. And then this one was the end that's got all the fat and stuff on it. That trim. That roast was about 60-40. 60% meat, 40% fat when I put it in there. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to be doing anything tonight but sleeping. We have a smart oven. So I just put it in the oven and let it set. And we cooked that roast for 13 hours. It was worth it. Cooked it in a big cast iron Dutch oven in the oven for 13 hours. Give that a try. Now, technically, the deep skillet, it's not really a Dutch oven. Kicked it in my mama's skillet. So it might have been a Louisiana pot roast. If you people didn't sit on the counter and watch your mama cook, y'all was stupid. Or at least hide in the kitchen door. So you get fussy about something sometimes, and I'd be outside, have a little ladder I made, leaned up against the house. I'd be leaning in the kitchen window watching. I used to watch my mom cook all the time. Paid off too. The secret recipe for seasoning that roast is Morton's salt, that cheap 80 cent a box salt. You put some of that on there, and then you get some of this real fancy stuff. It's called black pepper. And you put some of that on there, and then you get some onion salt. You put that on there. You put it in the oven for about 3 hours on 225 degrees, uncovered. And then when you get ready to go sleep, you put the lid on it, and then you just go sleep. And then you cut it with a spoon. The spoon you got to get the vegetables out of the pot. And then you just cut the wood. I'm some stuff right now I can't see straight now. My mouth is watering. And gentlemen, I'm sorry to let y'all in on this, but men didn't invent barbecuing briskets outside. That was a woman's idea. That enabled her to get your butt out of the house and leave her alone for hours on the weekend. And she could dutifully send the children out there to pester you all day long. Help dad. While she sat in the house and did whatever on her one afternoon off while you were out there doing what she did every day. One of the better ideas. Would I lose all my people? Nobody's talking. Trey left and nobody wants to talk anymore. Carol, hey Carol.
Yeah, I love Larry's.
Well, you want to put celery seed on stuff. I don't know. The seeds might be okay. I actually like to take, hear me out, a half a cup of white wine vinegar. I said, hear me out. And a teaspoon, you can go less if you want to, of fennel seed. Then you heat that up. So the vinegar steeps the flavor from the fennel seeds. And then as you're doing the pork, pay attention, you use that to lightly drizzle it. And then you've got to catch the drippings And then as you're browning, if you're open smoking it, you know, if you're open smoking it, use the drippings to keep the outside of it from becoming shoe leather. Yeah, I mean it's still going to char and crisp, but you don't want that char crisp to go down into the meat. It's a very delicate balance. My son can barbecue. He's big. See, Leland, don't be listening. He's actually better at smoking than me. He learned everything I knew, and then went out and found friends and learned from them. And yeah, hey Walter, that's the beauty about pot roast. I mean, you can do the pot roast, and if you don't want to eat pot roast, the next 2 days, depending on that was a big roast too. Depending, I mean, you can take the pot roast, let it go down, take that, put it into a freezer bag, freeze it, and then when you're ready for pot roast again, you set it out and then you warm it up. That's super easy. You can have the pot roast later.
I want spaghetti now.
Spaghetti. Yes, that's basically the wine and the whatever. And all I'm doing with that is just I want to flavor the drippings, which is a fancy way of saying the stuff you're not supposed to eat, the stuff you're trying to cook off of the meat. But it's not gravy. Don't call it gravy. But
Is it that au jus or whatever?
That's what you put the bread in.
No, don't make your bread soggy.
You stick that biscuit right down in there.
Yeah. Guns coast to coast. I'll catch up later, guys.
Hey, guys. That's okay. You probably already know. I don't know. You and Steve, y'all probably have a thing where y'all get together and order together from TEMU. Yep. That's why when you got that third Gatling gun, the barrel was pointing the wrong damn direction. Because they reverse manufactured it. I wonder if we could send those over there. I could see if we would like reverse manufacture some of the arms before we sent them to Ukraine, I'd be all for it. Those guys start pulling the trigger and they start blowing up. Oh, that just tickle me pink. If people still haven't figured it out, that whole country is owned by the DNC. And it was good seeing that. No be a tricked. Oh. And that's the other one. I'd like to get guns, Foco, that on YouTube, and not all at the same time. I mean, a couple at the same time. And then I would like y'all to just talk to each other and let everybody listen. I mean, this is me. I'm not going to be able to keep my mouth shut.
Looking for a hotel.
Good luck. Oh, you made, that's right. You made a hot shot down here in Texarkana, eh? Oops. Opposite.
And First Hair says we're the only ones ordering from that company.
Yes, Steve. It's Guns Coast to Coast is ordering from it because he's secretly the man in hiding. He's tricking us all by telling the truth. And you are from California, and well, that's worse than being Canadian. And actually, there's a lot of good people in Canada. I keep wanting to be ugly because that one guy just aggravates the snot out of me. There's a lot of Canadians I like. I mean, if you get a chance to hang out with real, like, conservative um, Canadians, down to earth, they're cool as crap. There's like rednecks that talk funny. Um, while I'm on redneck, I need for people to quit confusing rednecks and roughnecks. I got roughnecks are a completely different breed. They're scary. They know better. They just literally have no little F's to give, man. They're cool people, but they're nuts. But you have to be to live that life. I don't know, the modern rigs and stuff. You're not risking an arm every day you show up for work. On that, Walter, it's been the same thing since 2016. And well, 2012 actually. But boy, you pulled a lot of weeds today, eh? I tried to keep up with you, but that wasn't happening. Your legs were shaming you while you were doing all of that. You probably pulled up, I don't know, probably 300 pounds of weeds today, baby. I mean, they won't weigh that much when they dry out. That's why I'm waiting to move them. But she's got a pile of weeds out there the size of a freaking VW Beetle. Close to it. Yeah, mine's about the size of a bale of hay. Granted, I was strategically locating myself towards the smaller weeds. And I was cooking. I had to keep up with lunch, breakfast, whatever the heck that was. The vegetables were our vegetables. You know, well, the squash. That squash was good. Oh, excuse me. Just don't stay at the one that says Hotel Halo. Guns, because at night the O disappears. And they have a garden in the back. It's like one of the crappiest movies I've ever watched. And I don't understand it. You would think on the Lowry's gun or Uman, you would think that Morton would be similar in quality to Lowry's, and it's not even close.
I think shootings everywhere, just an everyday occurrence now.
Oh, geez. Oh, man, that's crazy. Um, we actually had a local shooting, but
That was a domestic dispute,
that
though.
was a domestic dispute by some people that transplanted over here from California. His wife was throwing his stuff at him as she was explaining to him that he wasn't staying there anymore. And apparently, he was giving back little pieces of his firearm as he was exiting. Struck her in the arm, something like that. That's made it back to California. They call somebody some my gal crazy. Got to ride out of town. Was on a bus and out of Abilene, I bet, before he ever. Well, no, he would have gone. He'd gone the other way. He's on a bus out of Midland before they even got to the motel room. According to the write up in the paper, they had a history of marital difficulties. They were hoping to get a fresh start. Or they were a couple of crackheads that came over here from California and found out crack was just as expensive here as it was over there. And everything was cheaper in Texas.
Yeah, we got that too.
Yeah, no, the I do like to cook with the kosher salt. I've actually started because thanks to the ladies, I started using sea salt, and that
You just have to be careful because it expires pretty soon.
yeah, you gotta use up the sea salt because it goes bad. The my favorite is that LGBTQ salt or whatever, that Himalayan salt, Himalayan egg salt. That's good salt, though. I think there's some odors in it. I actually prep that stuff whenever I think about it. I buy a bag of it. I mean, it's freaking good. It's good salt. When you're working outside and it's really, really hot, you take one of the little granules or whatever, you pop it in your mouth. Don't eat salt all day. And I'm not saying I eat salt all day. I'm just saying you can. It's really good salt.
Yes, exactly, man.
Exactly. Yes, and because they take all the longevity out of it when they evaporate the water. I think.
I'm just not sure how it has an expiration date, period.
That's how they make color safe bleach. They use that pink Himalayan salt because it likes colors. I'm cracking on my own salt. That's pretty bad. Uh, you got to be careful though because you break your grinder if you use too much. And they don't give those stupid things away. I think if you buy the salt, it should come with a grinder.
What if the coffee granule would do?
Well, you could granulate it, but then I don't know. That's like rocks, not beans. It would work for a little bit, I guess. Ooh, you know what might work?
That little bullet grinder thing.
I wanted to say that.
Oh, sorry, take it back. It's your turn. You talk.
That little bullet grinder thing.
That might work, Penny. That's a good idea. You make me use this stuff.
Well, say that the trick is you only use the Himalayan salt on the old dairy bulls and stuff. You know, when you buy the really big briskets and the really big roasts and stuff, you know, that stuff that they always put on clearance because you can't get rid of it. You can put Himalayan, pink Himalayan sea salt on a round steak and it will get tender. Same. It's good stuff. And it does seem to have a very, very cheery flavor. I'm trying to figure out how the hell they got sea salt out of the Himalayas. I still am, man. I don't.
The whole earth was covered in water at one time.
The whole earth was covered in water at one time,
So there was a sea there.
That pink Himalayan sea salt is not actually where the Yetis go tinky tinky all the time.
How do you know? Why are you watching Yetis go pee?
Well, I watched that on the what do you call it, Monster Inc. and stuff, and I thought that shit was supposed to be yellow, not pink. You only get one flavor, lemon.
You for watching the Yetis go pee.
Yeah, probably. I'm just wondering. The Himalayan mountains are a million miles above sea level. There's probably some little Himalayan up there looking down at the ark going, damn, they were in that bitch of ground. Oh, have y'all seen that the orcas have started smacking boats around? And that's up north, isn't it? In like during Yankee Land, the killer whales have decided that they don't like sailboats. Everybody trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm just like, have y'all not been seeing people post all these videos on Instagram and all that? The seals jumping up on their boat to get away from the orcas. The orcas are tired of the humans stealing their lunch. Hey, Tibor.
You see, man.
Global tsunami or something after an asteroid strike, and all that salt got trapped up there. Okay. Ugh.
That would make sense.
Have y'all heard about Atlantic City changing its name? Because of all of the shows and everything that's going on up there, they're just going to change it to Transatlantic. That's serious, man. They've been attacking sailboats. They've taken out like, oh, I forget. I watched a news video on a lot. In Las Vegas, they're going to change the name to Las Huevos or Lost Huevos. But Vegas has always been known for people pretending to be somebody they're not. I mean, everybody's, for years, everybody was Elvis. And now everybody's just trying to be Mariah Carey. I saw one the other day popped across Instagram when the suggested deal. That dude was dressing to be Whoopi. That is setting the bar low. Just, this is just humor. I'm not trying to crush anybody. I'm not saying these people don't have rights. I'm not hating on them. Hey, you do you, and we'll do each other. I'm not. No,
Very good.
yeah, it's owned by the CCP. If you search all the way, and it's hard. You got to read all of the fine print and all the stuff about it. You got to look really, really hard. But you find out that PPS or whatever, the people that own them, is actually CCP run and operated and stuff. Whenever you buy stuff at a hyper discount, same way we allowed ourselves, hold my hand up here, allowed ourselves to be convinced that we needed to spend the money at Walmart to save. I mean, when I first started shopping at Walmart, I was helping put guys out of business like it was going out of style. We would literally drive 45 miles to go to Walmart because at the time we could save 30 or 40 bucks. And it only was like $8 worth of gas. It just made sense. I did not realize that I was fixing it so my local grocer, his children and grandchildren would no longer be able to go to college without having to take out a student loan. I did not realize that I was fixing it so my local grocery would have to get a second and third mortgage on his house to try to keep his business open to secure a way to make income to where he could pay off his debt load from his business. To guys that had worked their entire the guy that had everybody's, he made less money than his highest paid stalker. He took less money into his salary was less than his stalkers. Hey, Mark, but that's where we're at. I mean, every time they come up with something new, everybody jumps on board to save, save a penny, make a penny thing, and that I thought we watched the Scrooge to learn that that's not how you live your life. We missed that part in Scrooge. All we got was the part that everybody's supposed to get something on Christmas. But there were a lot of times the guys got paychecks and I didn't. Well, they'd get 8 or 9. And they wanted to know why I was always yelling at them to hurry up. Because you're making more money than me, that's why. I charge piecework for all you guys out here doing this stuff, and y'all acting like y'all working by the hour. I had 4 guys quit me when I told them we were no longer working by the hour. To the price, everything's piecework now. I charge so much a square foot, and y'all get so much a square foot when we're done. They weren't bad hands, they just weren't great. They were of the, well, he wants more out of me, you got to pay me more. Didn't we have a talk about this whenever I hired you? And didn't I say that the more you show me, the more money you make me, the more money I will make you? But they were afraid that, they never dawned on them. I mean, I paid cash. So, you can work for me for 40 hours a week and make, I paid more than this, but you can make $400. Or you can work for me for 30 hours a week and make $400. I'll take the 4-day work week and the 3-day weekend for the same money. And if we've got the work, you want to go ahead and work that other day instead of take it off, guess what? You make $500. No, you're gonna have to pay me when I'm worth. Bitch, unless I'm making money off you, ain't worth nothing to me. That's when Wes is no longer an employer. I would go back and take that one guy, just me and him, and just stick to doing the little jobs. Man, we were banking it. He's right. Yeah, I actually worked at a place that when you hire on, you have to agree to 65 hours a week. Yeah, I take that back. 64 and a half. 64 and a half hours a week. Different company doing basically the same work. One was 72 miles from the house, and the other one was 70, exactly 70 miles. And I was only expected to be there for 5 days a week. I was not expected to do Saturdays, nothing like that. They were open on Saturdays. If you wanted hours, you could come in. They paid me $3 more an hour. Well, they actually started me at less at the one, but I wanted to stay home. And you didn't have to quit it. You work until you got ready to go home. So I was getting 70 hours a week, but I was doing it in 5 days. I'd leave the house at about 6 o'clock in the morning, come dragging in at 8:30. Yeah. But it took me, at the end of 2 weeks, I got a $2 an hour raise. At the end of 5 weeks, I got another $2 an hour raise. And then I got another dollar. It wasn't just a few weeks from that. Every time they'd ask me if I could handle something, I'd say, yeah, throw it on me. And because I only had to do so much a day, but if I could do one of something in a day and, you know, have like a lot of leisure time in my brain, I didn't like it. So I would do one and a half a day. And you're like, well, if you can do all of that in a day, how about instead you just do one, but do this and this step and this step? Okay. And I was still doing one and a half a day. And they're like, okay. And it's still, I was like, they were like, how do we get you to go to just do one a day? I said, make my brain stop running 100 miles an hour. I can run a fucking welding rod and watch a movie. I don't even have to look at what I'm doing. I've done this too damn long. So they finally started letting me do all. I mean, it was mine. And I'm still doing. I did be set up to do whatever. I was good at that too. I like it. It was boring though. Sit on my ass all day long. Well, not all day long. When I was putting the fitting plumbing it and stuff, I got to move around some. I like that part. The guy working behind me hated me, but I was like, I told the boss that. And so I went over and started helping him. Showed him what was taking him so long. I said, dude, you're doing it wrong. I said, you're doing it the way they showed you in school, and that's shoulder to holder bullshit. You want to get this stuff done. See this grinding disc you're running till it's nothing. This is a consumable. When it quits doing the job for you, put that shit in the bin. And if the boss man doesn't like it, explain it to him. And those when your 9-inch disc gets down to a 7-inch disc, you're running a 7-inch disc. Why didn't you start with a 7-inch disc? These guys over here run a 7-inch disc. Pitch that over there on the table, they'll pick it up. Then I showed him how to build the tools that I used to do what I was doing. I said, and if you know what you're doing, you can't buy this stuff. You got to make. And then boom, boom, boom. The next thing you know, he's making $4 more an hour. And he took my spot when I left. He offered me $4 an hour to stay. That was the dumbest thing I ever did. I should have stayed. I was tired of driving 140 miles a day for a job. I literally ran. How many sets of tire off that Buick? What old was a Buick? Was it a Buick or Oldsmobile? Oldsmobile. Now I'm sitting here trying to round up all the stuff so I can spend a week welding. I'm like, hey, I don't even know if I can still do that crap. Don't do drugs, children. Don't do that many, that's for sure. I'm sitting here talking about spending money at Walmart. I got Equate, ibuprofen over here.
Oh,
Exactly. The um, when I left, I had this tipping hammer. Oh man, feel free to steal this. You hold on, you're getting a headache. You take your regular chipping hammer that would come with a wooden handle. You take a half-inch um, black pipe, and you split the end of it, flatten it a little bit so it'll go in where the handle, the wooden part went into the chipping hammer. You put that in there. It needs to be 18 inches long. Okay? Don't be a sissy. 18 inches long. Then go and find, I got one laying around here somewhere. One of the little 14-inch crowbars. It's got the regular little flat bendy pulley priory thing on one end, and it goes around the curve. Cut 6 inches of that off.
Horsehair's out.
Later, Corsairs. Grind it to where it'll fit inside the other end of the chipping hammer. The pipe you just put on there. Drill some holes in that black pipe. Okay? A bunch of them. Whatever your grip needs. And when you put that in there, wire weld beads so you can hold on to the chipping hammer. But secure that little pry bar in. Just leave about an inch, and then the pry part out. And you want it.
Well, okay, Chipper.
That worked one job as well coming in. But like you want the flat side of the pry part running horizontally with the hammer. Yeah. So when you turn it under there to pry something, the head doesn't get in the way. Anyway, you've got all in one tool. You've got your pry bar, your chipping hammer, and when you put that metal pipe on there, you can beat the crap out of just about anything with that chipping hammer. And as long as you hit it somewhere where you're going to go over it with your bead or whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the one I was using when I was there, I told him to get one. He would always snag mine because after I got everything tacked together, I didn't really need it. And he'd run over and grab it, and he would use it. But whenever I left, I put it down on the floor and I skidded that sucker across to him. He picked it up. He was 22, married his girl while still in high school, and the baby that caused him to marry her wasn't the only baby she kept. I mean, she liked having babies, I think. Anyway, he was trying really hard to stay ahead of. I think he was 22 and had like 4 kids. He was one of the few young Hispanic men that I knew that wouldn't use the system. Find good people like that, you help them. You teach them. You get them raises. He would get so mad sometimes, and I'm, dude, you can't be mad at home. You can't be mad here. Being mad ain't gonna do you no damn good. Don't throw your stuff. Don't skitter stuff around there. And Chris, the boss man, hey, Cub over there in and doing other stuff. You still doing that other? Just a yes or no stuff. there's that. Mark, uh, he uh, he did offer to find me a place to live over there. Man, I got a mortgage, dude. You think so? Yeah, yeah. You can be angry, but you don't have to blow up. Just work around it. But I thought I'm trying to remember. Possibly his name wasn't Chris. Rick. Anyway, we come over there and start busting his chops because he was a young kid and he thought he could bully him into doing more or whatever. I said, and this is something because now you're making a hand and he's going to push you just as hard as he can. What you got to do is keep improving, stay ahead of him. And when he comes over there and starts that crap, just look him square in the eyes and say, F you, and go back to work. There'll be a couple of times he's going to blow a gasket, but then he's going to realize that you grow up and he'll go busting your balls. And he'll move on down the line to one of those guys that come in here and can't well and save their ass. And the guy was trying to run. He read the manual, I guess. I said, why are you running your rod so low? We're not in here. We're not doing x-ray, buddy. We're melting metal. I mean, you can't burn your rod up, but when the range is from 225 to 255, guess where you run it? 255. And if your welder can't hang, you go up to Rick and you say, hey, Rick, this welder is a sissy. I want another. And when you're making these people, figured it out one day, I was making them between 5 and 10 grand a day. Well, we were per unit. So if they can't throw down for us to have, each one of us to have a big 600 amp machine, they're in the wrong business. I smoked the first welder they gave me. He was mad. He said, that's a brand new welder. What do you mean it's smoking? I said, well, I ran it maxed out too long. That's gonna be so hot. It was still work. It was smoking. I got a 600 amp machine. They didn't buy another 250 amp machine to put in that building. $250 amp machine is a hobby shop welder. 600 is like a minimum. Unless, I mean, like portable welder, 250 is good. That's what I had. 300 is all you're ever going to need out there. I knew one guy, he had a 600 on the back of his truck. That's a monster. It was one of the few Super Duties. Is it F450 that I'd ever seen out in Old Park. But him and his welder's helper, the way that thing was set up, they could both burn rod at the same time. He would have his helper out there tacking ahead of him when they got to a point. He would have his helper out there attacking and stuff while he was over there burning rod, catching up on him. Hate guys like that. They can just outcompete you 7 weeks.
I couldn't do that because all them little cars getting in my way and I'd have to run over somebody.
Hey Chipper, you should buy this winch truck I want for me for my birthday. Or for Father's Day. Father's Day's coming up. You should buy it for me for Father's Day. It's like a CC5 Chevy, 1 ton. It needs brakes and a battery. It's got a 350 in it. I'd rather have his, but he ain't gonna sell me his. I might buy his dad's. His isn't as cool as his dad's anyway. Golly, man. I don't think he's got a diecast model of his dad's winch truck. I'm gonna try to go over there tomorrow afternoon. I'll get a picture and text it to you. Some of it looks so rough. But seriously, you put a battery on it, hit the key, and there she goes. Well, you got to dump some gas in the carburetor. But you don't got to do the gas and carburetor 1 time. It's loud. His dad wasn't real big on spending money on mufflers. It ain't been registered in 20-something years. He also has like a 70 model car hauler truck. You put a full size pickup up on the back of this thing and drive around with it. What is that? I actually didn't care. I owned a Miller. Actually, owned all my. I was blue all the way. The now I like the little Lincoln cracker boxes, but the honestly the SA200, the way the electricity flowed, the beads were prettier.
Most of the stuff at the shop we have is Miller though.
Everything, and I don't know. Well, I bought that short hood, and then it got stolen. That was just for me. I was just so I could look cool in my old ass truck, running around with an old ass welder on the back. But I single-handed a lot of SA200. Did SA300 for a while, a diesel. I didn't like it. I did not like it. Didn't seem to matter what I did to it. The The puddle was always runny. You just couldn't stack iron. Oh, I couldn't. I put diesel in at one time though. You could work all week. I did like that part. Now I worked the piss out of my. I had a little Bobcat, and that sucker run all day long. The only downside to it, when I was running it, I had to keep extra 5 gallons of gas because when I was doing serious welding and grinding and stuff, I only had about 7 hours worth of fuel, and I worked 9 hour days. My young wife met me at the back gate more than once with some gas before I figured out I'd just keep the gas with me. Night, Tibor. That's the trick there too. I quit. I tried to chase pipeline for a while. I wasn't going to do that kind of work. Um, they want to know why they have to pay guys in helicopters and airplanes to fly pipelines every day. Because I've seen the welders, what they can do out there. You can only go so fast. The end. I just got through saying that you work as fast as you can, but you work as fast as you can. Most my entire welding career was plant welding and fabrication. I was a pretty good fabricator. That means you point to a pile of metal, give me a napkin with a drawing on it, and knock that out of my way. Just answer the phone when I need you to give me something else. That's it. And write the check. Easy money. Yeah, it wasn't no easy money. Well, I don't know, them cattle guards was easy money. If you learn how to make a cattle guard, they ain't squat to it. Rule number 1, charge more for building them out of drill collars. Secret number 2, use an AC welder. Don't use your DC machine. Trust me. The AC, the alternating current in the arc negates most of the magnetism in the drill collars. And it literally just goes together. One welding test I had to do for that place I was talking about where the young guy with all the kids and Rick, the asshole boss. Anyway, actually, he was a good guy. But the guy that's doing the test, and he thought he was funny. You're supposed to be testing on line pipe. He would have 2 3/8 magnetized pipe up there. And if you know what you're doing, if you're a welder, you know how to get around it. And you can do it with whatever. He said, I need you to do a cutoff and a weld on this. I see the magnet. When I was doing the cutoff, I was like, oh, this is magnet. And it wasn't a little magnetized. I was like, anyway, I did the cutoff. I ground everything, and then I'd walk down to the end of the pipe rack because they just had it on top of the pipe rack. Then you have it on stands. And I took the ground clamp off. He goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm welding this." Yeah. Put 8 loops on the back end of that pipe real quick and clamped it directly to the pipe. And noticed that it was a AC or a DC machine. And I walked over there and I set my rod and flicked the AC. His eyes got real big around. I did my root pass, walked back over there, switched it to DC, ground it off, kept it one pass with a low high rod, and said, "How's that?" The boss had seen what was going on, and he said, "You passed," and I got hired on.
People rapped about the price, but they wasn't a quality issue. So
Yeah, and that's the. There's your little bit of science, and you don't have to leave it on AC. If you can run. But they wanted a root pass, 100% penetration, and then a cap. But the freaking 5/16 low high was right there, and I'm like, if I just because if you get rid of the magnetism on that old pipe, you can run your root. If you got your machine up too high, like 95 is good for 1/8. But if you run it to 110, you can drag that in. You got to push hard, don't play around, and then you can go back up and come out. Burn the flux from that root up, and you push in, and you sit there and you put your root and your your burn pad. It's not going to pass X-ray, but it will pass the bend test. And I got stuck running jet rod. I ran jet rod 10 hours a day. 10 hours out of a 12-hour day, I was running jet rod. Does anybody in here know what jet rod is? It is a brain-killing rod. It's probably one of the most awesome things ever invented. And once you get your machine set, all your pre stuff done, you strike the arc and you let the weight of your hand do all the work. You're just making sure the angle is right. That's it. I knew how many rods to put on my cart to make a circle. That was the other side of the boss man said, "How come you're not using all your rods every week?" Because I don't need them. He said, "It's 20 inches per rod." I said, "No, it's not. It's 23. What? I said, "Yeah, if you turn the heat up, it melts all the metal out of the flux." Gonna go get coffee. C103, you're in charge. You have to keep these people entertained. Tell them a story about, run them through the list of why Tennessee and Georgia is better than Texas. Oh, y'all can ask the white a whole bunch of silly questions.
hey,
Listen.
thank you. Yeah, smoke break everyone. Sounds good. Six to two is too sad for you.
Smoke break everyone. Mark's just like, okay, everybody reset. I did have to feed the dog. Well, I didn't have to. I just elected to because they were looking at me like, what about us? And look at it this way. Started the live stream early. I'm not already tired. You may actually make 2 hours without me going, oh, oh, oh. a lot. The I used to keep 5P plus instead of 5P. People were like 5P is better. I said 5P plus is AC or DC rod. 5P plus was a little bit more expensive. But you could run it either either or. 6010. It's just a little bit of difference in the flux. That's where a lot of people mess up when they're running low hydrogen rod, is they run it too cold. And the other guys run it too hot. You don't want your flux to be smoking. But you don't want to have to wait for a puddle to form. When you strike the arc, there should be a looking puddle. I can't see for trap anymore, so that's one. Well, it's one of the reasons. Finding welding work got really hard to do. And whenever they get all this new stuff done or whatever, it's going to be back to that too. The only time there's an ample amount of work is when there's construction going on, which means new exploration. I actually got into single hand welding when I was a machinist. The machine side wasn't slow, but it wasn't nearly as fast as the welding side. And the said a little bit, man. He said, "Well, how much is a little bit?" I said, "Yeah, you're gonna have to let me go back here and play around a while, because I, you know, welded some fence and you know stuck some purlin together and stuff like that. I never done any real welding, just farmer junk." And took a little welding in shop class, and they said, "Okay, well," they said, and he had got a job to build a hay hauler, one of those little hay fork deals that you pull behind your truck. Anyway, he said, "Go back there and build one of those." I ain't never built one like that. I could, you know, I could make you a bushing, a bearing housing, make you a spindle, slip sleeve. I could do all that stuff. I do all that, do that. But Anyway, he's like, no rush. So I went back there and I found a couple pieces of steel and just started welding and stuff. And then there was already one out there, so I went and measured the parts, cut the part, put it together, welded it out. The only thing, he was going to have to go buy a crank for it and bolt it on. And the next day, I was on a welding truck. I'd be in the machine shop working, be like literally right in the middle of something, up to my elbows in nylon shavings. And he'd be like, "Hey, well, you in your truck?" Okay. I got a 35 cent an hour raise. That was a lot back then. I was top of the daggone food chain back then. I was hoping to move up to pumper back then because they were the only guys that made more money than me. Yeah, but I, we needed a welder, and I taught my brother to come and quit his job at Hamby's. Not Hamby's or Kimball. I said, "Dude, you're making or what was he making? 650 an hour." I said, "Dude, you can get $2 more an hour down here and way more hours." And he got around and he finally came down there and said, "Now, teach me how to freaking weld." He could weld. My brother could weld. God, it was art. He was not the fastest, but you were not going to break his stuff. There you go. I've had to improve my grinding skills of the last few years. I may have told this already, but my brother redesigned the way the heads connect to, or the bits connect to a rat hole truck because he was tired of fixing them. So he just built one. And the owner come out there, "What is that?" He said, "I'm tired of fixing these, so I'm just every time one comes in broke, I'm just going to build a new one, and then they won't break." And uh, that company did Tony right. I'm sorry. The insurance company screwed him over at the end, but that company did Tony and his family right. And they're not known for doing people right. There is no telling how much money he made them with those things. Didn't you know, they worked exactly the same, they were just built completely different. You were going to twist the drill bit off before you were going to break that deal, and the drill bit had a place that was designed to break to keep you from tearing up the machine. But the machine always broke first. I brought Tony on with me over at Stones. I still think that was a mistake.
Unfortunately, his children had paid for the way he was.
Yeah.
They had a hard life. The
Ian,
younger one, especially.
yeah. In Charlie's defense, he was lied to, but damn it, I was his friend. I can't believe he thought that of me.
Yeah, but he did lots of people wrong.
Yeah. But, sorry, T-Board, he was union. Just the way he did his business. We found out later that he stopped being union because they kicked his ass out. Nobody in the union liked him. Man couldn't well say that. I think that was the other side of it. By the time I got to, by the time I started running SWS, I was damn near as good as Tony on my welding. I was faster than him and as good as. But Tony was going to reach for that chip and hammer like this. And he was going to think about what he was doing. I flipped that hood up. I grabbed that chip and hammer. I tipped it off. I didn't need to think about it. I knew what I was doing. I had that planned out yesterday. I was going to make 5 o'clock and go home. I was a bad puppy. And that's not true either. He went from having one company on the hook for all their contract welding to having 2 companies on the hook for all their contract welding to having 3 companies on the hook for all their contract welding. All because of and it was great because I was actually finally got to a point where I didn't have to do all the work myself. I worked a little bit, but most of the time I was going around making sure everybody else had what they needed, was on task, they understood the whatever, you know.
Or putting your wife underneath the vehicle and saying, weld that muffler back on, and getting her all burnt. So she had to weld that stupid muffler on, and it was thin as a sheet of paper.
You are the one.
You said, I got to go out in the field and do this for the farmer, and then I got this other stuff, this muffler here that come into the shop. Which one do you want to do? Well, since I can't do the stupid rod, I can only do the wire. Darn good at it, but
She said she wanted to be a welder. I told her she couldn't be a welder until she built the barbecue pit. I come back in and she was putting the smoker on the smoke pipe on this. Where is that? I'm never getting rid of that. It's like this coolest little miniature barbecue pit. It's got a little stand, got an operational.
It's a 3-inch pipe.
4-inch pipe. It's 4-inch pipe, 6 inches long. You can cook 3 hot dogs in this sucker. You can load it, light it. It's got a little grill. It's got a little smoke pipe, everything. It was a freaking a barbecue pit. So she can be a welder until she made her first barbecue pit. She built a barbecue pit. I gave her a promotion. And she started complaining. She was really good with wire. Have I told that one yet? Anyway. Took those things up there and they said, we need them all to look like this. I was like, next I just said, okay. Then we went and started finding something else to do. It's just because my superior foreman boss man skills. I showed her what I wanted. She gave me that every time. It's the best welder helper I ever had, and probably one of the best wire welders I've ever seen. I don't know how she did it. She didn't even get splatter everywhere. There was nearly no cleanup on her pieces.
fun. It wasn't work. It was fun.
Okay.
Except for the muffler.
Except-
The muffler
I didn't know it was
not
going to be
fun.
that bad. Did you get her done?
Yeah, and I probably still have scars.
You have little tiny ones that show up when you get flushed. I couldn't have been too bad about she's still here. Still waiting for me to sign that paycheck. Hey, dude. You can't take it no more?
No.
I guess we could have put them on the back side.
Something.
Yeah.
Stupid pickle sitting there just saying, come over here and get me because your mouth is watering.
Bet those are good too. She's like this weirdo. She can walk. We'll be going through the grocery store and she will notice we're in the pickle aisle. And she'll put a napkin on her chin because she's just got water running down her face. Don't put them off. You know that's something enough.
Oh, I already put the lid on.
Oh. She really likes pickle. Was it, are they kosher? Or? Got to be a specific kind of pickle.
No, I like several kinds.
Yeah, but those are the dilly deals, dilly bites. So they're just regular dill pickles. That's a big chunk.
It's really good. Makes my mouth water.
All right, Carol. Thanks for stopping by. Since we're eating pickles and talking trash, I don't know. Does anybody have any questions about TEMU? And whether or not they're actually them and they? It's a pickle hut. You're not interested.
But
You've been napping. Oh, that exciting. Man, that hurts me. So exciting to hear. Well, we hadn't really been talking about anything like that. We've just been, in case y'all didn't notice, this was just us just shooting the breeze with y'all. And this is what these live streams started being. This is what they need to be. I like these. These are fun. I mean, it's been 2 hours and it does not feel like it at all. I hope it's not been a total waste. Okay, Chip. Good for you. Excellent plan.
the only problem with that is it continues to go, whether you know about it or not. And then by the time you finally decide, oh, here, let me check into that, it's too late.
Yep. It's
Oh,
did-
goodness.
did start a
Yeah, I couldn't do that job.
yeah.
Man, I couldn't.
Anyway, now I lost my train of thought. Oh, them, they not paying attention. Uh, the survival thing that I was talking about that I watched. It's not Walmart. You have to go buy your survival gear for your survival challenge from a mom and pop brick and mortar. No price limit, you can limit the number of items or whatever. This guy did 3 items. He bought some paracord, a mora, and a pot. He went out in the bushes. They had mushroom and leek soup and stayed dry. Well, it got soaking wet building his shelter, but then he stayed dry. You are welcome, and you do the same, little man. That's 3 days. I forgot about that. We got 3 days. We got 3 days. We got 3 days. Well, 2 more. We had 2 more days together.
Yeah, and then I have to go to work early. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
then you have to go to work early. That's what's up. Yeah. Y'all stay tuned. I mean, I know we all have to make the most of every dollar. Trust me. Um, but if you get a chance, we've switched our stuff over to a mom and pop uh, pharmacy. Mm, I'd rather pay the extra $5 a month. I just would. Uh,
Not one more then. Oh, that was not fair.
it was not fair. I love watching you. You're just like a kid in candy stores. Anyhow, I would show y'all Hazel, but he is inside. I fed him inside because he is the annoying little brother. I swear he gets right up in everybody's business when they're trying to eat.
Or trying to walk,
Or turn to walk.
or trying to pull weeds, or
Now, when they go after them coyotes or whatever, he gets the hell out there. He will guard that threshold like it is nobody's business.
or hide under the shelf.
Or hide under the sun. Sadie found her snake today. She just could not understand why I would not shoot that thing. She barked at that for what, an hour. I mean, I picked up on the hey boss. I found a snake real quick. Went, got the gun. That's one thing right there. And went out there, and I'm like, "We're not shooting this one. Just leave it alone." I picked it up, and so I don't know why. It's they're called shovel nose. They're charcoal gray. They're not really black. Charcoal gray, in yellow, and in orange, ish red, kind of a brick red, and then yellow, and then charcoal. But it's just saddles. Their belly's white, and they pretend to be dead when you harass them. So I'm like, leave it alone. And they're real chill, laid back snakes. They don't come up out from under the ground very often, but we've gotten so much rain the past few days. You know, they're not water snakes. Yeah, she had to. And she shed. She just shed. She was beautiful. Beautiful. Bam. That's better than the last couple of snakes we've had here. That was all the excitement today. Was the dog found a horrible, vicious, killer, burrowing snake, and I was supposed to kill it, and I didn't. Such a life. They're really pretty. If I was going to keep a pet snake, it would be a shovel nose. For the simple fact that they're not all weird and stuff like that. Though the Arizona black-headed snakes are really cool too. Just I'm not keeping any more of those.
Well, at least your daughter doesn't carry them around in her pocket anymore.
There's that. I didn't know they were poisonous. I guess you should read.
Yeah, probably.
Thought they were a cool little snake. I mean, who makes a poisonous snake the size of a number 2 pencil? Just saying, I would have been different. I would have put a sign on the back that says poisonous. And I'm giving it to my kids to play with, right? And that's the one thing that's most at risk is small children because the snake's mouth is so small, but they can get a hold of the kids' webbing. I know I've talked about that before. Y'all have an excellent weekend. Uh, Memorial Day is not about cheap mattresses. And it was started to remember people that died, Americans fighting other Americans, just for the record. And maybe let's try to get along a little bit more. Let's, I know there's a bunch of states out there that still hadn't figured it out, but um, my state ain't perfect. Trust me. We have Austin and Dallas. Austin, Dallas, and Houston all right in the same state. So, and El Paso. Ugh. Hey, Sasquatch. See, look at you coming in here at the bail. He doesn't realize we're been here forever. Oh, I'm killing me. Do not let me forget to drink water. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's try to get along a little bit better. Have fun. This is find a way to sit down with people and just talk about stuff. Don't talk about all the things that are wrong. Talk about all the things that are good and work towards that stuff. And you know, how to put a little bit of whoop booty on the rest of it pretty quick. I will not take Memphis. It's not happening. I'm not taking Nashville either. I think Dollywood. Who's going to be next? By the way, Dolly, I did not mean to jinx you. We got Tina Turner. Who was the other guy?
I don't know who it was.
Anyway, we've had two of the 80s icons die on us. My money's on uh, Willie, actually. If they get past all that embalming stuff he's got going on. Pretty sure. Yeah, gummit. Who was it? Was both of them have been rock and roll guys. Well, Tina and the other guy. Anyway, y'all keep growing. Unless I missed one. Probably missed one. Probably already been through. Oh, Lightfoot. Gordon Lightfoot. Rebecca Evans Fitzgerald. Lost him. And Tina Turner. And that's all I know of right now. Anyway, I hadn't heard about Charles Bronson.
Isn't he an actor though?
Yeah, he's an actor. It'll be if he did go, then we're gonna have to be watching for two old actors. Um, there's that High Desert. My mom used to think he was going to be the Antichrist. I ain't got SOBs here running full tilt. I'm sorry. There's no way that the Antichrist isn't here with all the. They wouldn't let us check Tom Sawyer out of the library when I was a kid because it had language inappropriate for children. You had to be in high school to check it out. And now in third grade, second and third grade, you can check out a book on how to blow your best bud in the bathroom. Something's wrong. Yeah, I doubt that. Corey, I just don't see that happening. Willie getting rough though. Um, we don't have any real troop rules in there. You mean yeah, geez. On that rather depressing note, that's what I know this what no Bible study or whatever. Y'all people better get your stuff together. Knowing who Jesus is don't do you a damn bit of good. He better know who you are. Now I don't care how within reason you do your stuff after he gets to know you. Because he'll tell you how to live. He's got to know. The Antichrist believes in Jesus. Knows the scriptures word for word. God bless y'all. Y'all stay alive. Do not die. That was the wife. Y'all be good. I don't know. We may do one on Monday. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Just for tickles and grins. So anyway, y'all don't eat too much, and don't let them take advantage of you on those mattress sales, furniture sales, and TV sales. Good gosh, Walmart was insane. Love you people. Y'all still out. Do not die.